Thank you for this opportunity. My talk is on Symphony of Adaptability, Neuroscience of Possibility. Do you know that your brain rewires itself every single day? Your brain has about 86 billion neurons. These are cells, okay? And each one of them is capable of forming thousands of synapses. Imagine these as connections between cells, and these are opportunities and possibilities, adding up to trillions of potential pathways of possibilities. These are more stars. These are more connections than the stars in the galaxy, meaning that you have a living universe of possibility in your brain. Yet, more often than not, we think we are stuck. Science, culture, lived experience reveal that we are far more limitless than we think. So today, I invite you to step into this truth, not as a theory, but as a challenge. The human body is the most sophisticated biological machine ever evolved for mankind, basically because it houses two components of life. That is the soul and the mind. The soul is the core of your being. That's your sense of direction. And your mind is closely related to the brain. That is, your mind activities are performed by the brain. Your brain controls all the organs in your body. It controls all the biological processes that keeps you alive and functional. So you cannot underestimate the power of your brain because your thoughts alone can make you sick or make you heal. Every thought you think, every habit you repeat, every belief system you hold reshapes you over and over again. We are not a fixed machine like a robot. We are symphonies of body, mind, and soul, constantly rewriting ourselves. And this is called neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to reorganize itself in response to life changes. By doing what? By forming new connections. Meaning, as you are seated right here, learning something new, your brain is physically changing, basically for you to adapt to the process. So we are wired for adaptation, basically for survival. So there is nothing you cannot achieve because your brain is wired for you to achieve it. The only person that can stop you is yourself. This will take me to a personal story. As a young girl, while I was growing up, I cherished my privacy. I was more productive behind closed doors because I could focus and concentrate. Guess what? Most of the productive things I did in private put me in public to repeat the same things, and I would freeze. Sometimes I go blank. Reality dawned on me as I got to graduate school and I had to make a series of presentations. And sometimes during presentations, I'll go blank. Not because I don't know what to say or how to say it. I knew my stuff, but something kept holding me back. It's a voice in my head. I used to think that showing my talent publicly was showing off and calling for attention. And I didn't like that. So that became a limiting belief in my head, an invisible wall that I created by my own self. But it's not true. So I had to rewire those connections in my brain by telling myself the truth. The truth is that you are not showing off nor calling for attention. You are sharing beneficial knowledge. And you have to do it in the best possible way you can. So I learned to shift focus away from myself to the task at hand and the reason behind it. That kept me focused on what really matters. And with consistent practice, I was able to adapt to the process because consistency, doing things that felt uncomfortable for me, gave me the courage to continue like that. And today, this is what I do for a living: knowledge sharing in an higher institution. So here's the point: the voice in your head is not meant to silence you. And whenever you consistently do what feels uncomfortable, you are strengthening the grit muscle in your brain, and that builds resilience in you. And your mind is always listening to whatever you are telling yourself, and your body responds. So it is essential that you speak possibility into your life. So research has shown through fMRI scans, the scanning of the brain, that your brain cannot fully differentiate between what is imagined and what is real. Okay? For example, the regions of the brain that lights up while you are imagining a particular scenario is the same region of the brain that lights up while you are experiencing the thing in real time. For instance, imagining being with a loved one, visualizing yourself eating a nice meal, or ruminating over past hurts. All of these trigger the same neurotransmitters, and your body will respond accordingly. So, fear is an emotion that keeps you stuck, and in your head, it is just a perceived threat. Unlike danger is real, we can see it. When you see a lion now, nobody tells you to run. But fear is all in your head. And what is doing that? The amygdala. Amygdala is the threat detector in your brain. What does it do? It amplifies fear, exaggerates it. Why? As a protective mechanism. That is the way your brain protects you from emotional hurt, not necessarily to hold you back. Amygdala is like an overprotective mom. She exaggerates every possible thing that can go wrong if you dare go out. So we have the courage pathway. In the courage pathway, the prefrontal cortex is in charge. What does it do? It silences the amygdala, and as such, you perceive clearly. Perception becomes clearer, opportunities open up for you, and then you act from empowerment rather than in fear. So, courage and adaptability do not exist in isolation. They are influenced by the environment. And your environment could either nurture you or hold you back. It depends on you. The culture, the people, the space around you, the food, the belief system could either nurture you or hold you back. The choice is yours. So you are not meant to be a slave to your surrounding. You don't need to put your happiness in the hands of people. You don't need to put your achievements in the hands of people because you are you are enough. You have an inbuilt mechanism to help you cope with anything. So when you unleash the energy within you, you make the environment a conductor of possibility for you. Here is my takeaway package for you. My takeaway message for you is that Symphony of Adaptability is built on 5 keys. And this is a framework for resilience and growth. And each time you are down, I want you to remember the formula to help you get back up. The formula to help you get back up is simply get up. G for gratitude, E for expansion, T for training, U for unlocking, and P for purpose. It is easier to be grateful when things are going your way. Gratitude in moments of challenges is very difficult. It's like chewing glass. However, what it does to you, it gives you an emotional shift from a state of scarcity to abundance, from being hopeless to being hopeful. It gives you energy to move on, and it is practical. You can keep a gratitude journal. Twice a week, write one thing you are grateful for. And at the end of the month, when you read through this gratitude journal, it gives you motivation. You don't lose hope about yourself. And then we have expansion. Expansion is growth, moving out of your comfort zone, doing what feels uncomfortable for you. By doing that, you strengthen the resilience circuit in your brain, and that builds resilience in you. So, comfort zone is a thief of success. You don't grow when you stay in one place. And then we have training, training your body and soul, training your body and brain and your mind enhances resilience. Research has shown that the most successful people are not necessarily the smartest in the room. They are people with grit because they don't give up until they achieve their aim. Research has also shown that athletes who mentally rehearse and visualize themselves winning a particular race eventually won the race. This is not just because of physical practice, it is more of mental rehearsal, mental preparedness. And then we have unlocking. Unlocking is self discovery. We are all gifted and talented. Your job is to use your God given talent. You were given for a reason, you were not meant to die with it. And when you let your light shine, you unconsciously give other people the permission to do the same. And then we have purpose. Purpose is your why. It is the master key. It's the one that holds every other thing in place. It gives meaning to your life. Why do you want to be a lawyer? Why do you want to be an artist? Why do you want to be an engineer? Your why keeps you well grounded, keeps you going when the going gets tough. So these are the framework for resilience and growth. Fear, failure, doubts, challenges are like chains holding you down. You are not defined by those chains. You have a choice either to remain bound or break free and create your own reality. Remember, you are wired to conquer. So, limits are not walls, they are doors, and you have the keys. Now, the question is which door of limitation in your life are you willing to open today? So, when limits show up, what do? You simply get up because you are limitless. Thank you very much.